Welcome, this is Keita.
And I am Lorianne.
And you're listening to Anxiety is a Mother.
Welcome back to another episode of Anxiety is the Mother. My name is Hurricane Keita, and this is my lovely co-host.
Hey y'all, it's Lorianne.
And we are joined here with the phenomenal mayor of our hometown, El Dorado, Arkansas.
The town?
Yes, Mayor Veronica Smith-Creer. Yay, welcome. Introduce yourself a little bit and tell our listeners who you are, what you do, all your boss activities.
Well, I am Veronica Smith-Creer. I'm the mayor here in El Dorado, Arkansas. First woman, first person of color to be elected here in this city.
Say that.
Yes. Women History Month. We thank God for that. Yes. So as the mayor, I am kind of the face of the city. I am public relations for the city. In my position, I am over the police chief and the fire chief, previously over the public works director. That's another story. But most of what I do is to make sure that our citizens are informed. My thing is that to make sure that people know about the practices and the procedures of the city government here. So I try to do a lot of that from a lot of different platforms. I do the Mayor's Monday Morning Movement moment, get things in the paper. I do a lot of things on social media just to keep people informed. I try to attend as many events as possible. I'm looking forward to the Bold Awards coming up very soon. Yeah, so just different things in our city. One of the things that I maintain is that I'm everyone's mayor. When I first was elected, I had a lot of people telling me that, I voted for you. But my thing is I'm your mayor, whether you voted for me or not. So I'm the mayor of this city. I think I am maybe one of the most visible and vocal mayors that this city has ever had. Mm-hmm. I'm the first that I know of to have an open door policy because, again, I don't think you can serve people that you don't hear from. So try to make sure that my door is open. And it takes a lot to do that. It is a 24/7. It is not a Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. It is a 24/7, but I love it. I love it.
I love that. I'm just so honored to have you on, seeing that you're the mayor of our hometown where we were born and raised. It's a very special moment for us. And during Women's History Month, I mean, the alignment is everything. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your day, out of your busy schedule to meet with us and join us on Anxiety as a Mother. So we're going to go right into, we do this where we check our energy and just pretty much checking the tempo on how you're feeling, how your mental is, how life is at the moment, how your week is. So I'll just start with me. My energy has been for the past few weeks very busy and tired. I've been drained. I have been drained, but I am, I'm figuring it out. Like I'm working through the kinks. I feel like I'm kind of finding my footing a little bit and just really scheduling things that I need to get done and checking my list off one by one. I didn't even go to the gym this morning, and that's out the norm for me. I get up and go to the gym every morning at 5:30. I slept through my alarm. I was tired. But I think it's important that we listen to our bodies and take a minute to rest when it's time to rest. We don't always have to be go. And lately, that's been me on the go, constantly trying to get things done. I have an event coming up, so I think that's kind of where the added pressure is coming in. But outside of that, my energy has been really, really good. And it's been good. Overall, I can't complain. It's been good. It's been a good busy. I always say it's a good busy. So how about you, Keita? How's your energy?
Well, today my energy is really good. I won't go too deep into, I kind of did go through a little dark phase. I had some issues with some people around me, had to get the snakes out the circle, so now that I have moved past that, dealt with my energy, I am in a much better place. I actually did go to yoga today. So mentally I had to, stop everything that I had going. I actually canceled a few of the events that Pretty Rose had going on this month. I was like, I need to just really sit and refocus my energy, strategize a little bit better, because I was feeling a lot of go, 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 go. And sometimes when you go, 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 you miss a lot of the details, the important details, you know, in what you're doing. And like I said before on previous episodes, I think it goes with that struggle mentality. Like, I got to be doing all of this to get some money, because if I don't get no money, like, how I'm gonna pay the bills, how I'm gonna do this, how this gonna work, how I'm gonna pay my staff. You know, I'm like, okay, girl, get out that mindset. Like, you need to sit your ass down. Sorry, Mayor. Sit your behind down and, you know, figure it out. So I'm in a much more zen place. So, Mayor, how are you feeling?
Well, my energy today is very good. I actually have a council meeting this evening at 5. So on the days that I have a council meeting, I'm always a little apprehensive about how things will go, given the fact that it is what it is. It is what it is. So sometimes they can be a bit much, not always according to the agenda. They can be a little different. I will say, at my age, I'm still learning to make sure that you prioritize things. Being the mayor has taken my activity level to the 10th power. Even with COVID and some of the restrictions that have been in place, I've continued to stay very busy. So you have to make sure that you're making time to be a wife, to be a mother, in my case, to be a Mimi, to be a good friend, to be a good sister. So with all of those things, sometimes we forget about being good to ourselves. I just in November started with a personal trainer. So I did go to the gym this morning, and I try to make sure I go as much as possible. That physical health a lot of times attributes to our mental health. So I'm grateful to still be learning what works for me. And, you know, when we get into different phases of our lives, sometimes we have to readjust. So, and let me just say this while we're checking energies, and I hear a lot of things that the two of you have going on. And I was saying earlier that I follow both of you on social media. I'm so proud of both of you. You all are so far ahead of the game with so many things. I wish that at your ages, I was as active and being such an innovator as the two of you are. Please understand that you two really do have the world watching you. And with that, we are concerned. We always want to make sure that you all are taking care of yourselves, because y'all can't conquer the world if y'all are not in a good space. So y'all continue to make sure that you take care of yourselves first and foremost. And, you know, the world is still going to be there for y'all to conquer, but y'all make sure that y'all are taking care of yourselves. And again, I'm so proud of y'all. I'm so very proud of y'all. So yeah, I check y'all out on social media. I wish I had known y'all forever, but I'm so glad to know y'all now.
And thank you for all of your support. Like, you've been in my inbox several times, and you know, people think that, you know, it's the congratulations and the applause that's what keep you going. It's the, you know, the private messages, keep going, you know, keep your energy right. You know, that's the type of support, because, and I think I've said this to you before, there's so many times that you privately message me. I might have just posted an uplifting post, you know, social media, they just see that. But you know, you encourage me privately, and not knowing that I was actually at my lowest in that moment, you know, not feeling like, you know, asking myself, like, is all of this even worth it? Like, why am I doing all of this? Like, you know, mentally, you know, I'm stressed out, you know, bills ain't coming in right. So just to kind of have that keep going, you know, I truly appreciate that. Thank you for that support.
Thank y'all.
Right. And I was going to say the same thing to piggyback off of that, just to know sometimes you just saying, I see you. I know you message me along those lines, like, I see you, keep doing it, keep going. That means the world, especially coming from you. Like, it means everything. So thank you so much. We need that. Pouring into people is so important. It's not always about, you know, purchasing something, buying something, or publicly supporting them. Those private messages mean the world. So
Yes.
Good,
Thank
good.
you for your encouragement and your prayers. We truly appreciate it. Okay, so let's go into our next segment, which is the safe space. So the safe space topic is, what are some of your childhood traumas that you are still dealing with? Lori, I'll start with you.
Ooh, childhood traumas I'm still dealing with.
Or that you're working to overcome, I should say.
I think maybe opening up myself to people. That can be very closed off. And I think that comes with the trust issue.
Mm-hmm.
Or I try to put it on, I'm shy. I label it as I'm shy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think
and you ain't shy.
Right. Well, and you know, like this is okay. I want to say something though. Like this is my first time saying that I label it as I'm shy, so I'm kind of having a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is my first time really admitting to myself or out loud that I label it as I'm shy. When deep down, I really don't. I feel like it probably comes from something in my childhood with me opening up to people, and I think it may have been maybe the way people treated me in the past, and I kind of like cut things off and kind of put up this wall to protect myself. So I kind of try to label it, oh, I'm shy, or I don't, put my whole self out there to everybody, which I feel like is good to kind of guard yourself, because not everyone deserves all of you. Until you're in that space to where you feel like, okay, you've earned to see all of me, like you're worthy of that, because not everybody is, but I think that would be my thing, just that wall that I have built up. Like, even we had a meeting with the social media team this week, and they're like, Lori, we want to see a little bit more of you and your family. And to hear them say all the things that my cousin, my co-host has said to me over the past 3.5, 4 years, it's like hearing somebody, like, I know it's true, but it's like, it's just this thing with me, like guarding and protecting because if people can't harm or hurt what they don't know. So like, I always just shield certain things about myself, and people can feel like, oh, they know you and they see you and you post this and you post that, but you don't, so if you don't know, if you don't see, if I don't share that part in that piece of me, you can't have access to it. So I think that's something from my childhood that I'm still healing from and learning from and trying to get past. Is it
the fear of being vulnerable?
I think so. Because I will say I went through a period in my childhood where
pull it together.
Like, I just felt, and hate is a strong word, but I felt hatred towards a lot of people. And I wanted to say the time frame, because I'm still friends with some of these people on Facebook. I will say, like, I remember, like, you don't forget those things. And so those things impact you, and it's trauma. It's traumatizing for your life. And so whenever my children come to me with issues, like, I try to nip it in the bud immediately, or I'll give them like situations that, like, if this happens to you, this is what you do. Like, this to try to guard them now, because I've been there. So I feel that's definitely that's definitely my thing. And I say, like, I don't care, but you still, like, you still care. Yeah, you're still affected. So guarding myself, and I'm still trying to work on coming out of my shell and opening up more and showing more of my personality and more of who I am, and being vulnerable, regardless of how others take it.
Do you feel like the podcast has helped you?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Most definitely. Girl, when I saw this question on the safe space, I was like, ugh. I didn't even want to talk about it. And then you got to be first, but but it is what it is. So, but that's mine. I'm a work in progress.
We all are.
Yes. Yes. What's yours?
So, and I know I have kind of, touched on this a few times or throughout the podcast. I think mine is needing to be validated. And I think recently it kind of was, I started sitting with it, and I'm like, it's not validation from like everyone. It's from a particular person. Needing validation from my parents, not feeling good enough. And I feel like that goes back to my childhood, not feeling seen. If you weren't achieving like really, really, really big things, there were no small wins in my home. No one cared. No one cared. But if you're achieving like these major things, that's the only time you got applause, and I feel like that just kind of carries into my adulthood. I need to do big things or else it don't matter. And so there was something that happened recently, I think I finally had my I made it moment, and that's no ego involved. Like I've said, like you hustle, when you start achieving all of these things. And my mind has always, okay, what's next? Like what we doing next? Like what we doing next? So I was having a really bad day at ZZ's, it was our first day back at ZZ's, and I feel like the day did not go like I would like it. Like we had some not so happy customers, like it was taking us a little bit longer. We were kind of mixing orders up, so it was taking the line a little bit longer to get down. So I was feeling defeated, like not me disappointing someone. So that kind of had me feeling a little crushed. So long story short, like as we finished the ZZ's thing or whatever, and then I'm checking my emails and I'm kind of seeing everything I missed. And then I see my footage from the Destination Dallas episode, which made me very excited. Like, yes, I got all this footage, all this great content. And then I saw Lori had posted the pre-episode or the pre-teaser for, our episode with Beautiful Weirdos, which is a really big episode, for us. So I was excited about that. Like, these things are happening. It's kind of like uplifting me. And then I saw that my illustrator had sent me pictures of the twins' book. The twins' book is done, Helping Mommy Find Her Superpowers, which is a book about, mental health aware or me going through depression, but from my kid's standpoint. So that just kind of I just started breaking down, just crying, so excited, and it was really bad. No, I don't want to say bad, but I was like hyperventilating, and I'm telling my kids, it's okay. Like, these are happy tears, because me mentally, I'm thinking like, man, all these sacrifices, all those moments of not knowing how I'm about to pay these bills, and all of those things. So it all just kind of came to me in that moment. And, I'm just like, grateful, crying, just kind of being dramatic, but so I called, this particular person, and I'm telling them, like, let me tell you what God has done. And I'm just going through my day. And then when I got done, they were kind of like, oh, I'm still waiting to hear what God has done. And it just felt like it shattered like everything, all my excitement. I'm like, did they not get it? Like, because for me, this is my moment. Like this, like, why are you not happy for me in this moment? So, I talked to Lori after, and she was like, you got to get over needing validation. Like, everybody's not going to respond to certain things the way. You still need to like have your moment, even if everyone is not excited for you. So that's something that I didn't even realize I was still, suffering with that. But yeah, that's a childhood trauma that I'm still trying to get over.
Yeah.
What about you, Mayor? I'm sorry, that was a lot.
No. And perfect. So good to hear you all sharing. I think if I have to mention a childhood trauma, it would be low self-esteem. I come from, in my immediate family, 2 girls, 2 boys, and I guess body issues have always been a thing for me, or had always been. Both my sisters, very small, very slender. Even my brothers back in the day were very small. So I didn't feel like I fit in. And because of that, I had low self-esteem for a very long time. Even as I got older, and the term cute in the face, thick in the waist, I didn't think that was cute. I didn't like that, and so a lot of times you have to figure out where, and it's called self-esteem for a reason. How do you see yourself through your own eyes? And I had to come to the conclusion many years ago that it's not how other people see you, it's how you see yourself. So I won't say that I still struggle with that, but to a degree, you always want to make sure that you're really esteeming yourself the way that you should. In this position that I'm in now, I get a lot of comments from a lot of different people. We were talking beforehand about how people feel like they can just say whatever and, tell you whatever. So I'm not in a position where I have the luxury of being thin-skinned. And so I have to continue to push myself, I can't let things stick to me. I don't care how hard people throw them. And so I think because I struggled earlier in life with that it has actually helped me later in life, that you can get beyond what other people think about you is really what you think about yourself. I know even in this position, it's such a blessing to be here. The accolades about being the first, but it also creates a lot of pressure, because being the first gives you the idea, the knowledge that you have to do it in such a way that you won't be the last. So I have to continue to push myself. I'm somewhat in the Mary J. Blige thing now. You know, you wake up every morning and say, "Good morning, gorgeous." So really keeping yourself amped up, keeping yourself motivated. But if I can be honest about it, especially with the two of you here, I get a lot of inspiration from you younger ladies. I think that helps. You all don't realize how easy you make some things look. And hearing you all talk about the realness of it, you know, I know you mentioned earlier, people see what they see on social media, but they don't see the fullness of it. So for you all to be able to push through the things that you push through, you know, there is a lot of self-motivation in that there has to be. So when I can see young ladies like y'all doing the things that y'all are doing, it actually gives me more motivation to continue to push myself. So you can definitely take what was a negative, turn it around to a positive. And I see you ladies doing that all the time. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be able to be here in this place with the background that I come from, and even with some of the issues that I have struggled with, to continue to move forward. So, yeah.
Okay.
I love that. And I just want to say on that, you know, you say that looking at us, but oh, now you have me all emotional.
I know.
But I remember, and I don't know exactly how long it's been that you've been in office, but I remember watching everyone from my hometown going to the mayor's inauguration ball after you were elected. And I was like, this, you know, just having that moment. This was before I met you, but before I knew you. And just being so in awe of this Black woman being the first mayor in our hometown, and just the inspiration, the motivation that was, and seeing how beautiful everyone was, and y'all having an amazing time, and all the pictures, and just being in awe of that. So as much as you know, we're inspiring you, you do the same for us.
Definitely.
Please know you're doing the same for us. We're looking up to you. We're in admiration of you, and you inspire us to keep going as well. So we thank you for that.
Yes, thank you.
That make me get emotional. I don't know how to cry.
I know. I know to get emotional. Well,
She always the one that cried up.
hold on. I didn't cry last season or this season, so.
If you have cried this season, first of all, I will pull the footage.
Oh, please do, because I don't remember. What episode?
It was like 1 or 2 episodes ago. You just cried.
You just cried.
I'm gonna have to fact check you. Okay, but speaking of background, Mayor, what brought you into this? Like, what made you want to be the mayor of El Dorado, Arkansas?
So I don't know that I ever really wanted to be the mayor, first of all. Growing up, I wanted to be a teacher. That was my dream, to be a teacher. I loved education. And ironically enough, I decided not to go into teaching because there were too many politics in teaching. And so now I'm here. When I decided to run for mayor, well, before I decided to run for mayor, I served on a lot of boards, on a lot of committees, and just really felt like volunteering and learning more about how things work was very important. And because of that, I tell people I'm nosy. I want to know what's going on. And because of that, people nicknamed me the mayor because they felt like I always knew what was going on. So I had, back in 2008, I started working with the state coordinated campaign for the Democratic Party. I helped with Governor BB's campaign, and decided then, you know, maybe I'll run for city council. And I ran for, well, that was in 2006. I ran for city council in 2008, and I did not win. And so the night of the election, my aunt told me, she said, well, you don't let this stop you. You run again. But the next time, don't run for city council, you run for mayor. And she said that to me, and I promise you, it didn't sink in until after, when I decided to run for mayor. And I decided to run for mayor back in 2017 for 2018, because I really didn't see anybody that had decided to run that I felt like would take everyone's interest at heart. You know, having worked with so many different boards and working in the community, I felt like I had a good idea about what was needed and what was missing. So I didn't see anybody else doing that. And I'm a strong believer in, when you don't see things being done the way that you think they should be, you get up and do it. Don't just sit on the sidelines and complain. You get in and you do something. So I decided to run, and the rest is history.
I know that's right, girl.
Yeah. And it's been amazing. I will say that the educator in me, I think that's what continues to make sure that, gives me the push to continue to make sure that people are educated on those processes and procedures. And again, being the first has had its struggles because we are in 2022. And I tell people all the time, when we look at civil rights and African Americans and women, there's been a lot of time, but there has not been a lot of distance. We are still, as women, we're not respected like men. And not just by men, by other women. We're not respected the way that we should be. So I was talking to a high school class today, and I was telling them, I'm a double minority. I'm a woman, I'm a person of color. So I'm used to fighting. It's nothing new for me. But I'm hoping that one day the fights that we're in will make it a lot easier, for the next generation coming up.
So speaking of those struggles and it not being easy, how do you stay level-headed and deal with the conflicts? Because I have seen some of the comments that are directed your way that can be very disrespectful, just flat out disrespectful.
She holding up the Bible.
Yes. Because I
right here on my desk.
Yeah, because like I said, we're Facebook friends. I've seen some of the comments. People will come for you very recklessly in a manner that they don't have the right to. I know God is at the head. Yeah. But I know there has to be some dark days where it's like,
I'll say moments, because sometimes you really do have to take a deep breath. Yeah. Think about how you're going to respond, or if you're going to respond. The saying, it's not what you call, it's what you answer to. I don't feel the need to respond to everything. Social media to me is a privilege for people to have access to me. And I control that. I control, as far as my social media accounts are concerned, especially my personal page, I control what I allow to be on there. I've only had to block one person, and I'm really grateful about that. That it's only been one, but some have kind of teeter-totted on the edge. So, but I remind people, don't come for me unless you want me, because when you get me, you got me. Yeah, and it is what it is. I'm not in a position for people to. I'm a public servant for sure. But that doesn't mean that you can just talk to me any kind of way. I'm going to give you the same respect you give me. But there have been some times where people have commented. My baby sister used to say that I had what she called nice nastiness, that you know how to be real nice when you're telling somebody off, that sometimes they have to wonder, did she just tell me off? Yeah. You can do it in a way. I mean, there have been times where some people have said some very offensive things. You can get the delete button. But if you get me to respond, that may be on a whole different level. But I do remind people of that. I'm human. And I'm going to be as respectful as possible. But I'm also going to let you know, don't play with me. There is a scripture in the Bible that says, touch not my anointed, do my prophet no harm. A lot of people think that's just about a preacher. So I tell people, I am one of God's anointed. So be careful how you deal with me, because my daddy don't play about me. So just know what you're doing. And it is sometimes my husband and my daughter, they get upset sometimes about things, some of the things you may see on social media, and sometimes they want to respond. And sometimes I don't want them to. Sometimes if they ask me, I'll tell them not to, because people, if they know that they can get you in a certain place, I'm going to tell you, in this position, now I'm a Black woman, and I'm proud to be a Black woman. But you'll never label me as the angry Black woman. That will never be me. You're not going to get me to the point where you're going to make me angry enough to get out of character. I tell people all the time, I will not stoop to somebody else's level, but I can snatch you up here and deal with you. So we can do everything classy, everything. So sometimes you'll see me respond to things. Now, especially with social media, I tell people, don't tag me about things that you're complaining about. Don't put me in the comments when people are complaining about things. I'm too accessible. You don't go to social media to solve problems. You go to social media to post things. If you want a resolution, you can call me, you can come see me. I'll come see you. but I don't go to Facebook about complaints. You can bring those to me personally. So I do not respond to those.
Right.
So let us know, what do you see for the future of El Dorado? Like, what are some things that you would like to see happen, or some things that you're working on that you are able to talk about?
So some of the things that I think are very important that we continue to work on is that relationship between the city employees and the residents and elected officials. There is too much of a breakdown when it comes to that. As far as elected officials, I continue to remind us every day that we are elected by the citizens of this city to serve them. I don't think we truly get that in some instances. So that's something that I think is very important. Our city employees are underpaid, overworked, and they get the most complaints and they do the most work. So that's something that we've been working on as far as my administration is concerned. What I'd love to see, and hopefully after the election, we'll see more of it, is a more cohesive interaction between the city government and what that looks like to the residents. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I've said it many times. We have people in these positions for power. They have forgotten that we were elected by the citizens to serve them. This year, as far as elections are concerned, I think everyone has an opponent. And it's good to see that, because that means that people have either learned that they need to step in and do something, or they're tired of people being in these positions and not actually working. So we have 8 council members. I think all of them may have an opponent this time. And I'm not saying that all of them will lose, and I'm not saying that all of them need to, but I think you need that motivation that somebody else will do the job if you won't. So that's one of the things that I feel like I've done a lot to make sure that happens, because I continue to make sure that people understand how things are working, and in some instances, how they're not working. I want to see El Dorado truly be the city that it's destined to be. And that'll only happen when we stop having underserved communities within this city. You all are from here. You come home from time to time. You know what it looks like here. I'm very proud of El Dorado, but we could be doing so much more. And some of it is because some people are not aware of the opportunities. And unfortunately, some of it is because some people just won't take advantage of them. So as the mayor, I feel like that's some of my responsibility, is to inform people, to help people. And I feel like I'm doing that. And if the Lord says the same, I'll have the ending of this year or the remainder of this year and maybe 4 more years to continue to do that. If not in this position, I'll still continue to do it in whatever position the Lord puts me in.
Right.
And speaking of, things within the city, one of the things I always hear is, especially with our hometown, is there's nothing here in how hard it is for new businesses to come in. Why do you think that is? Why is it so hard for maybe a Chick-fil-A or a Wingstop to open up in El Dorado? What is it that is blocking the people?
The people. And I'm just going to be very blunt about this. We have a lot of people that complain about things, but they're not always taking the initiative to change things. I keep telling people, and this is something that I don't think a lot of people understand. It's kind of like dating. When you're dating somebody, they're very attractive to other people. When you break up with somebody, then okay, the attraction is gone. So we don't date the existing businesses enough for us to look attractive to other businesses. There is something called a footprint that is created by as much as you visit or utilize the different businesses in this city. Other businesses are not going to want to come here when there's no footprint, when there's not enough activity. So as much as people continue to go to Little Rock and Shreveport and Monroe and other places to do their shopping and all of that, they're taking that footprint outside of this city. So we're not attractive to other people. I don't know how much people understand that. Now, even in my position, people are under the impression that I can just call Chick-fil-A and tell them to come to El Dorado and they're coming. That's not how that works. Again, they have to have the desire to want to come here, and they have to have people that are willing to be employed, because that business has to be sustained. And then they have to have enough people that they feel like are going to patronize it for that business to be sustained. So a lot of the why we don't have certain things is because the people that live here will not support what is here. As far as people starting new businesses, that's a lot easier than some people may think. We have a lot of people that are doing business on Facebook that aren't legitimate businesses. So they're not fully getting the advantage of being an actual business. So that's some of the other things, because you do have to come to City Hall for some things as far as your occupational license and things of that nature. So I've been trying to inform people of those things too. We have a culture of people who want everything right now. And that just does not happen. The two of you can attest to that. The businesses that you all have, you put a lot of work into it. You continue to do that. So we can't just expect for something to happen overnight. Unfortunately, the lines that have to be crossed, all the T's that have to be crossed, all the I's that have to be dotted, are not as familiar to many of us. The city actually hires the chamber to be that economic arm of the city. So as far as even a business wanting to come here, they wouldn't contact me, they would contact the chamber. So I had a lot of calls, a lot of inboxes about, why don't we have this business? Why don't we have that business? We have to be attractive to people. So we need to start dating the businesses that we have here just a little bit harder so that we can be attractive to some other businesses to come. Now, I will mention, as far as things to do, that falls back on us as the people of this community again. We can have a lot of people to engage, people to do different things, but if people don't show up, sooner or later, they get discouraged. So even with the businesses, when people bring things to town, whether it be a concert or an activity, the Bold Awards, when people bring those, you got to attend, you have to support, because nobody is going to continue to just throw money away if people don't attend or support. So we have to do better in those areas. Right. If we don't, people are going to stop.
Yes, and I'm glad you brought up the Bold Awards. Actually, Mayor Creer was the host of last year's Bold Award, and we're gearing up for our second annual. So what are you looking forward to most about the Bold Awards? And actually, we are looking for sponsors for that. So, and you do not have to be in or from El Dorado, Arkansas. If anyone would like to be a sponsor, please hit us up. But what are you looking forward to this year?
So since this will be the second annual, I'm hoping that more people will get involved. I'm hoping that there'll be more people to attend. Let me say that I thought last year was amazing. You all did a wonderful job in putting that on. I think it was amazing to see the people that were in the different categories. I know I was in a couple of categories, and my daughter was like, "But you didn't win." But it was an honor to be nominated. So you can only have one winner. It was an honor to be nominated. So I'm looking forward to the different nominations this year, the different categories, because I'm not sure if they're going to change or not. But it was just a little bit of Black excellence. And I know that's what it was designed to be. So looking at and thinking back to last year, I'm going to have to step up my outfit for this year. I'm looking forward to that too, because Keita for sure, not both of y'all came through and really represented. Now I'm 52. I'm not gonna try to do what y'all do, but I am definitely gonna step up a little bit.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to being a sponsor. I'm looking forward to that. And let me just say this, and I don't know how many people will see this, because this is an election year. It's a good opportunity to be a sponsor. If you're running for any particular political position, get your name out as much as possible. So I'm looking forward to being a sponsor. And if you all don't have a title sponsor yet, Mayor Sunshine is your girl. I can do that.
I love it. Hear it. Yeah.
So yeah, Keita accidentally sent me that the other day. She was like, I didn't even send it to you. I said, I'm trying to figure out what sponsorship I'm gonna do, and she sent it. So roll that back.
I know that's right. And speaking of Mayor Sunshine, I love that I always see you going live and just doing so much and giving so much of yourself to the people of El Dorado and the community. Tell us a little bit of Mayor Sunshine, like how that name came about, and just the different things that you personally like to do as mayor, or just simply Veronica, that brings you that joy and that peace.
I love people. I really do. I love people. I love being around people. I love helping people. So the sunshine came from yellow is my favorite color. And so sunshine became one of my nicknames. So I added mayor to it. And mayor is actually an acronym that stands for making achievements, yielding outstanding results. So everybody can be a mayor. So I use that. I started using it, I think, for the second, or actually the first mayor's ball, because as you mentioned before, the very first one was the pre-inaugural mayor-elect ball. So when we had the very first mayor's ball, I had already come up with the mayor's sunshine, and then that became kind of my city page that I would talk more about what's going on in the city. As far as what I do on Facebook, going to different events, talking to different people, keeping people informed, that's just kind of who I am. And I parlayed that into being the mayor. And hopefully, that's one of the things that I hope will stick. The next person that sits, I would say in this seat, but this is my chair. This goes when I go. Whoever sits in this office, whoever sits in this office will understand that you really have to be a people person. You really have to be a part of the different things that are going on in the community. And again, I go back to the fact when I was volunteering and serving on different boards and committees, I had to attend those events because that was part of what I was doing. So what you see with Mayor Smith-Creer or Mayor Creer is you're really seeing some of Veronica. So yeah, I don't know how to be anybody other than me.
I know that's right. So tell us something that our listeners will be surprised, mainly our El Dorado listeners, people who think they know you, but they don't really know you like that. Tell us something that would be surprising to know.
Oh, I'm so transparent. It's just hard. What is some of the things that they wouldn't know? Go ahead.
I didn't know you before, before you were mayor, but like I was just really surprised at the Boulder Awards, like how much personality you have.
I'm a ham.
That was surprising because you just have this perception of someone as an elected official is kind of uptight, stuffy, jokes are just dry, not that funny. I'm like, oh, she's lit. Like, we have a lit mayor.
Very approachable, very down to earth. I feel like, just like someone I would go to brunch with and hang out and just soak up knowledge from. And I think that's what so many love about you. I know I speak for myself and Keita, like that we really love and enjoy about you is because I feel like I see myself. Representation matters.
Yes, it does. And that's one of the things I'm going to tell you I've gotten a lot of compliments and a lot of criticism for. But again, I don't know how to be anybody other than me. The fact that I'm the mayor is a plus. I give a lot of respect to this office, but at the same time, I love to laugh. I love to dance. I love karaoke. I love laughing. So I have to be me. Even when I was running for mayor, I had some people tell me, and some people may not know this if you've not followed me for a long time, I've not always been natural. I just went natural back in 2017. And one of the things that someone told me was that I was going to have to straighten my hair if I was going to run for mayor.
Were they black?
Yeah. Of course. They were.
They were. So this natural hair journey has been, I tell people it's not a statement, but it is a statement that says me naturally is enough. I don't have to do anything other than what God gave me. So I think a lot of people felt like running, I had to change, but I said that I'm going to have to be authentically me because for one, if I'm somebody different and I get elected, then when I start being me, you're gonna be surprised. Now, if I'm me, and if I'm not me and I don't get elected, then I'm mad because if I had been me, I could have gotten elected. I wouldn't know. So I said that I have to be authentically me. I can't change. You get what you get when you get me. This is it. But I think, like I was saying before, me just being me was, some people don't take it well. They say that the mayor should act a certain way. And many people who say that didn't know many or any of the previous mayors. So I don't know where they draw that conclusion from. But when you get Veronica Smith-Creer, Mayor Smith-Creer, Mayor Creer, you kind of get in the same person.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely a challenge that comes with your position because it's a male-dominated field.
Yes.
And not only male, but then it's a white male dominated field.
Yeah.
And so just the pressures and the expectations and then the added stipulations, I guess, of what a mayor should be when someone looks at you. I feel like the respect level goes down for so many. So dealing with that, I can only imagine how tough and hard it can be. And that's where that comment probably came from with whoever told you that you'd have to straighten your hair, because we have been made to feel like this is what's acceptable. You are not here, so you're going to have to change X, Y, and Z. And here's the thing: we don't have to change anything. We show up as self.
Right.
Show up as self. So I just commend you and every Black woman, natural or whoever you choose to show up as, just showing up as yourself.
You're right. Representation really does matter. You are absolutely correct about that.
It matters so much. But I do want to ask you, because it is Women's History Month, and we always love to highlight women. And being Black women, we love to highlight our Black women because we have such a tough time just on a daily. So I wanted to ask you, who is a woman that you look up to that inspires you? And also, what level of inspiration, some type of inspiration or a quote or just something that you could leave for other women listening to this to help them along their journey?
I have been inspired by a lot of different women, but I want to say my mother. And I say that because I feel like as a mother, that's your first teacher, that's your first nurturer. My mother passed away in 2016 from multiple myeloma cancer. And my mother fought cancer for about 20 years before she passed away. And I admired so much her faith in the way that she fought. She had a lot of days that were not good days, but she continued to have the faith that God would see her through. And even with all of the treatments and going into remission a couple of times, she never lost her faith. As a matter of fact, I believe her faith got stronger. One of the things that my mother used to always say is that if you're going to worry, don't pray. And if you're going to pray, don't worry. And I have truly taken that to heart, because I've learned that you can't worry your way through things. If you prayed and you've asked God to lead you through it, He is faithful to do just that. I got a lot of scriptures that I continue to lean on, but I have been reminded, even in my lifetime, the story of Ruth and Esther, because many times we are called to a position for a time such as this. So God has a way of knowing, because he created everything, where you're going to be, when you're going to be, and what you're going to need when you get there. So we just have to know as women that God has already walked out our footsteps. He set provisions in place. And if we can learn to be each other's best friend instead of each other's worst enemy as women, we can get so many more things accomplished. I believe that's one of the reasons why it's so easy for women to bicker and fight, is because the devil knows when we all get together, we do turn the world upside down. So yeah, that's one of the things I think we can remember, that we work better together than we ever will apart.
Oh, that's so true. Yes. Love that. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Well, do you ladies have anything else before we wrap?
Can I just say again, to learn, if you've not learned, learn yourself, make sure you're taking care of yourself while we conquering the world. Let's take some days off from time to time. And when we have these accomplishments, when we reach these milestones, and I think I told both of you before, take the time to enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment. Don't let it pass you by looking for that next big thing. Enjoy that moment. Sit in it for a minute and enjoy.
I'm listening. I'm taking it in.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Mayor Creer. This is definitely an honor and a privilege to have to share this space with you. Thank you so much for coming on Anxiety is the Mother. Let our listeners know where they can follow and find you.
Well, I am here in El Dorado, Arkansas. My office is located at 204 Northwest Avenue. The number here in my office is 870-862-7911. My city cell phone number is 870-315-0004. I love for people who are from El Dorado to come back home and visit the mayor's office. So many times, many people have never been here. So I love for people to be able to come and to see what goes on here. If you want to reach me by email, my city email address is mayorsmith-creer at eldoradoar.org. And Mayor Sunshine is my city Facebook page. But if you'd like to be a personal friend, my personal page is Veronica Smith-Creer with the dash.
Okay.
Love it. I'm coming by the office next time I'm home.
I'm thinking that too. I was like, I hope they got food. You gonna have some food for us?
I can make, if y'all let me know in advance. My husband loves to cook. I have y'all something.
Yeah.
Let me say this before I let you all go. This is Women's History Month. I would love to have some pictures and your bios so that we can showcase you all on our bulletin board for Women's History Month.
Oh, okay.
I will send it over to you. And I also want to say for we hit on the Boat Awards a little bit, but just for our listeners who are not aware, the Boat Awards are for Black outstanding leaders and doers. It's a moment where we just take a minute to celebrate those in our community who are doing amazing things, who are business owners, entrepreneurs, just giving back to their community, teachers, coaches, whatever. So the information will be out coming soon where you can nominate those in the community, and so that we can go into the voting process and see those outstanding leaders be awarded this Juneteenth weekend. So the Boat Awards will be June 17th in El Dorado, Arkansas, with our amazing mayor as our host. And the following day will be the expo for all those business owners and entrepreneurs, where there'll be a big expo at Miller Park Mall so they can come out and you can come out and support their businesses. So again, that's Juneteenth weekend, and all information will be posted on our Facebook page under Boat Awards, or you can check out Anxiety is a Mother for sponsorship packages and Boat Award tickets and all the good stuff that's going to be involved.
Nominations start March 14th. So make sure you guys look out for that, because last year there was a big hoopla, people saying they didn't know about it and how come this person didn't make the list. Well, did you nominate them? No, you didn't. So this year is your chance to nominate those people. And so we are changing something this year. So last year, I think everyone had to reside in El Dorado. This year, you just have to be from El Dorado. So make sure y'all nominate me for Hustler of the Year.
That's what she really want, y'all. No.
I do.
Yes.
So where can we find you?
You can follow me at Laurie N317, but I really feel like it is Women's History Month, and support a woman's business at energies.net. Honey, shop, buy something for the woman in your life, buy something for yourself, and that's INNERGIES.net, or you can follow Energies at INNER.GIES on Instagram and Energies on Facebook. And Keita, where can we find you?
I like how you segue right into a plug for your business.
It is what it is. Don't follow my personal
support a woman.
business,
That's right. Don't you got a discount code this month?
I do. Discount code is women, all caps, women, all month, 20% off. Yes.
And make sure you guys follow me at Pretty Rose 420, also Hurricane Keita, and ZZS_ice_cream_puffs.
That's it.
And they are delicious.
Oh, thank you. Toodles. Bye, y'all.
Bye.